Spring breakers! Are you prepared for disaster? Don't worry, we'll get you there. Today we're going to talk about tsunamis and what to do if they happen. So, a tsunami is a set of ocean waves caused by large sudden disturbances of the sea surface that can happen because of a volcano, a landslide, a meteor crashing into the water, or usually earthquakes.
So what makes a tsunami? Basically, all you really need is a vertical force being exerted on the surface of the water. So you could have an earthquake, which pushes up on the water from the bottom, or you could have anything falling into the top big enough to make that kind of impact. So like, that's not going to work. Maybe you have a giant lobster, and he crashes down into the water, and you see the waves that are happening. But maybe the lobster is not big enough. Maybe we need a giant cow from space. Here he is. And he goes, and he's like, whoo! And basically, what this up and down motion does is it makes the waves higher. Anything going in a horizontal motion isn't going to make a tsunami because it doesn't quite make the same amount of energy. That up and down energy is transmitted into the waves, and then they ripple outward towards the land or other ocean. When they get to the land, then the ocean bed swoops up. So there's less room for the waves and the energy in the ocean, so they have to go up. And that's why they get really tall. So, lesson here. If you see a giant tall wave, leave the beach.
Why does that matter? Costa Rica is located on the Caribbean plate, and the Caribbean plate is bordered on two sides by something called a convergent fault line. That's the kind of fault line known to cause earthquakes because basically what it means is that the plates to the east and west of the Caribbean plate, where you'll be going, are constantly pushing against the Caribbean plate. And those pushing motions are what typically cause earthquakes. And if an earthquake occurs underwater, it can cause a tsunami. So one needs to be prepared. Just in case, the thing you most need to look out for is a quickly receding tide. If you are on the beach and the tide goes out, you can kind of see it in this image here, how the dark space might be where the tide usually is, and the light space might be how far it's receded in just like a minute. That means that the bottom, called the trough, by the way, of the tsunami wave has reached the beach first, and the big tall part's coming, the crest, if you wanted to know. So that's what you should look out for. And if you see that, best thing to do is leave the beach. You need to go inland, and just so you know, the effects of a tsunami can spread up to 3 miles inland, so I would say just go as far as you can. And after that, you have to listen for updates from public officials. If you can get it on TV or the radio, because you can't go right back to the beach. The beach can remain flooded. There can remain very dangerous conditions on the beach for days or just hours. So you have to wait until they tell you it's safe to go back. Also, if you're not on the beach but close enough for it to be a problem, these 4 terms in the image here will help you to make sure you understand what's going on. If it's just an information statement that you hear, there's no threat, you're fine. But if there's a watch, there's a distant tsunami possible, and maybe that just means that you should start to listen more frequently. An advisory, I would stay away from the beach. If you're not there already, I would leave the beach maybe, because it means there are strong currents and waves dangerous to those in or very close to the water. But the warning, that's when you want to go inland. It's dangerous flooding and possibly powerful currents. So the government officials and me are going to want you to move to high ground or further inland. And after first impact, the destruction keeps going. As the water rushes back into the sea, it can take with it cars, pieces of buildings, and even people. Those people, it is so easy for people who are on the beach to be swept out and to drown. Flooding can persist for days on the beach, and afterwards local structures have to be repaired. Sometimes tsunamis even leave like large chunks of coral or other sea life on the beach. And even after all that is cleaned up, the land will be especially prone to erosion and bad for growing crops because the extra salt in the seawater affects dirt's fertility and its ability to just hold itself together. But you're probably safe, and you'll be even safer with all the things I've told you today. So have a great vacation, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.